Hey guys, welcome back to this tutorial. Today we are going to learn how to layout in iOS. So we are going to create a simple login screen using auto layout feature, and our final product will look like this. We'll have two text input, we'll have a label and a button. All these ones will be aligned using auto layout. If you haven't or you are new to iOS programming, kindly check my beginner tutorial on iOS. You'll find a link in the description or on the above on the corner. So to get started, I'm going to create a new project. So I'm going to create my Xcode file, and then I'm going to select a new project. I'm going to select app. Next, I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it login. Next, I'm going to select the directory. Then I'm going to create. So as you can see, we have an empty project. Then I'm going to click on main storyboard. And the first thing that I'm going to add is my edit field, that is text field. I like dragging it to the center there. And then I'm going to add constraint. I'm going to align it horizontally and vertically. Then I'm going to add a guide. To add a guide, click on editor, then guide, vertical guide. This will help me to position my elements on the same edge. So I'm going to have this guide. I'm going to drag it to a margin of 40 from the parent. And then I'm going to add another guide. And then I'm going to drag it on my right side with a margin of 40 from the end. Then my first text field, I'm going to constrain it, and I'm going to give it a start of 40 and an end of 40. And I'm going to add those two constraints. Then I'm going to change the placeholder, and I'm going to give it enter email. It's that simple, and then we can learn our app at this point and see what we have. So build success. As you can see, we only have one text field with enter email. I'm going to add another text field. Just click on the add button, drag it, then add constraint, that is align it horizontally, and then add constraint 14 to the left, 14 to the right, and then on top it should be below enter email. Then add 3 constraints, and this one I'm going to give it as a placeholder enter password. Then I'm going to learn our app and see what we got. So we have enter email. Oops, this one, let's see, placeholder enter password. Okay, all right, let's learn it again and see. Okay, there we are. We have enter email and enter password. This gap looks a little bit large, so let's reduce it. Top, you can just drag it to that point. Or if you want to edit direct, you can just come here and look at the top, just give it 13, add that one, and then this one 15, you can remove it. So let's learn again. So as you can see, we have a small margin. Remember, when you add a new constraint, it multiplies, like you'll have 2 constraints. That's why you see I have removed the 50 and added the 30. So I'm going to add a label. Now first let's add button. Then I'm going to drag it below, and I'm going to align it horizontally. I'm going to constrain it. At the beginning, I'm going to give it 40. To the end, I'm going to give it 40. and I'm going to add the two constraints. Then I'm going to give it text color of white with a background color here of ancient color, and then I'm going to constrain it on bottom. So top should be bottom of password 80. Add that constraint. Let's learn it again and see. As you can see, our app is getting bigger, so we are going to change this text button. I'm going to call it login, and then I'm going to add a label here. This label, I'm going to call it please login user or welcome back. I'm going to constrain it horizontally, and then I'm going to give it it should be on top of email address, this one. Then I'm going to add that constraint. So I'm going to learn it again and see what we have. So as you can see, guys, we have finished creating our login screen for our iOS application. We have the label welcome back, we have email, we have password, and we have login button. So in our next series, we are going to learn how we can be able to interact when you enter password, when you enter email, check or validate. Thank you for watching. If you are new, remember to subscribe for more tutorials. Boom.